Headphones, not like that. Headphones, open back versus closed back. What's the difference? We'll start off with the most normal of the two, which is closed back. So these are the Bayer Dynamic DT770 Pros, one of the industry standard medium priced headphones. And these are closed back. And you can tell that because if you look at the headphone, the head goes in between. On the back, so remember, open back, closed back, look at the back. Chairs in the backstage. Focus multiplier, focus, right. Like knowledge, do knowledge. Back of the headphone is closed, it's hard. What she said. The back of the headphone is closed. You can see I'm tapping it, it's made of plastic. Sometimes it might be another material, but basically a closed back headphone has a closed back. The sound, of course, goes inwards towards your brain, but the back of it is closed, so closed back. Don't worry, in a few moments' time, I will explain what all this means. Open back, so the back of the headphone, remember, brain in the middle, the back of the headphone, so this bit is open. Now, on this one, it doesn't, unless you look closely, it might actually look like closed back, but it's actually open. So this thing I'm tapping is actually a grill. It's a sort of a speaker grill, so it's got holes in. So the sound travels through, broadly speaking, uninterrupted. So this is open back. The back is open, open back, open back, open back. And this would be an example of a more clearly open back set of headphones. You can see the back is open, where you might normally see some sort of plastic back bit. There's in fact nothing at all. So the sound just flies out. The back of the headphone is open. Now, what does this actually mean? So think about what's happening. If you have a closed back headphone, such as this one, when the sound, remember, comes inwards, in this case, into your brain. So the speaker is pointing inwards into your ears. And that's how you hear things. So the sound is going inwards, but some of the sound will actually fire out backwards too. So if you imagine what's happening, some of the sound that's firing out backwards will be bouncing off the back because the back is closed, and then it bounces off that and then back into your ear. So with a closed back headphone, you're not only hearing the sound directly into your brain, you're also hearing this kind of like an echo, kind of like a delay, but it happens so fast, you don't actually hear it as being an echo or a delay. Again, you're hearing the direct sound source as it goes directly into your ears, but you're also hearing a reflection. Reflection's a better word. You're also hearing a reflection of the closed back. Think about what's happening. The sound goes inwards, but it also goes outwards, and then it bounces off the back and into your brain, all of which happening so fast, you don't actually hear it as a reflection or a delay. Whereas with this open backed headphone, the sound goes into your brain, but there isn't this secondary reflection. The sound that comes out backwards just flies all the way out into the room, and that's all perfectly fine. So therefore, an open back set of headphones is more precise, more accurate because there isn't that reflection of the back of the headphone. Therefore, you would think, logically, if you're making music or you just want the cleanest sound possible, go for open back. But there's actually a few more nuanced points surrounding this, which means you don't always necessarily want to go open back. First of all, closed back headphones tend to isolate your ears from the outside world much more effectively. Well, not perfectly. I can still hear a little bird tweeting. But in general, closed back headphones isolate you more from the outside world. And so if there's a lot of background noise, an extreme example might be an airplane or a train. If there's a lot of background noise, then closed back might make more sense because it isolates you from that, allowing, of course, you to better hear and focus on the sound that you're hearing, the sound that you're creating. Also, with open backed headphones, because the back is open, the sound goes out of it. And so if I'm say playing music now, in fact maybe we can do imagining. So if you imagine I'm listening to music now, then if I'm playing it quite loud in particular, then quite a lot of sound is actually going to be escaping from the headphones, which if you're say recording vocals might be a problem. Because if I'm we'll put this on the floor. Let's say I'm a gangster rapper, or even just a normal vocalist or a singer or person, or even just anyone at all. So if I'm recording vocals, wickety wickety woo, hip hop and stuff. Then if I'm listening to the song in my headphones loud, then the microphone's not only going to be hearing my voice, it's also going to be hearing some, I think the technical term might be mic bleed. It's going to be some sound coming out from my headphones from the song into the microphone, and that's bad. So you're going to be hearing my voice, plus a bit of the song. And so for recording vocals, you'd want closed back, because you can imagine my head's in between here. You can imagine basically the back stops the sound pinging out from the headphones into the microphone. Unless you crank it super loud, in which case you'll still probably hear some anyway. So don't play the background song too loud when recording vocals. So yes, that's one nuanced point. Additional nuanced point coming up now. Additional point nuanced now. I'm taking it off my head. Focus multiplier, right. So an additional point of consideration is almost everyone listening to music normally, if they're listening on headphones, will be listening on closed back headphones. Well, yes, open back studio headphones are great for hearing things. To be honest, almost nobody is actually listening to music for fun with these things, apart from audiophiles. But in general, I would say, I'm not exaggerating, 98% of people, maybe even 99%, listen generally on closed back headphones. Therefore, you could make the argument that to better understand how the listener's hearing your music, you should be producing or making your music with the same sort of the style of headphones, which would be closed back. So the conceptual dilemma is, do you A, go for open backed headphones where you're hearing the most accurate representation possible of what you're creating, or option B, closed back headphones. This would be a more accurate representation of what the end user's hearing. So maybe that will help you better design your track. There's no definite answer, to be honest. I mean, I can definitely make the argument that mouse, we didn't use open backed headphones because you're hearing the most accurate representation of what you're hearing possible, which you can then of course translate into the various listening conditions and environments, headphones, monitors, cars, clubs, etc. But I could also equally make the argument to use closed back because almost all listeners listen on closed back headphones, and the bass in particular sounds very different. Maybe not extremely different, but the bass, in fact, sometimes it can be extremely different. The bass in particular sounds very different in closed back headphones versus open backed. Not to mention, in addition, tangled in my own hair. An additional nuanced point also is because closed back headphones tend to sound more exciting, you could make the argument that it's much easier to get in the flow and sort of connect with your track and understand, be excited by it, compared to open backed headphones, which, to be honest, sound rather unexciting indeed. The music just doesn't sound good through these. It's very accurate. I mean, if I'm listening to a track, I can hear extremely accurately with these HD 650s. I can hear very accurately what the track is, but it's not exciting. Like, I would never listen to music for fun with these headphones. It's just not that exciting. But then again, additional nuanced point, you could then make the argument that if you can make your track exciting with studio headphones, then it would definitely sound exciting through normal headphones. Whereas the opposite doesn't apply. If they sound exciting through these, they might sound exciting through these, but not necessarily. So it's all very complicated, or not that complicated, but I mean, there's just a few considerations. So it's not always as simple as always go open back for studio, always go closed back for general listening or recording vocals. Do you consider the nuances? But I think as a general rule, does kind of apply. For general studio use and hearing the most accurate representation of your track possible, go for open backed headphones. Whereas for a general listening experience or recording vocals or isolating your ears from the outside noise, close back. Fantastic indeed. This has been Multiplier talking to you with much jibber jabber. Hopefully the knowledge came through. Multiplier talking about the difference between open backed headphones and closed back headphones. Now this is serious commentary has finished. What you could do if you want the best of both worlds, you want both the accuracy of a open backed headphone. If you want the best advantages of an open backed headphone, but also the best advantages of a closed back headphone, what you could do is simply put both of them on, and then you're literally getting best of both worlds. Now you're probably wondering then what you do with the this. Now that's a good question, that which I've definitely thought through. Not just thinking it through on the spot now. What you do is you've got to use the physics. So you use the transit electromagnetic motive force, the induction of the sound coming through the cable, wrap it around your head, and then because of the inverse polarity of the first headphone. It actually translates what's coming through this cable into this cable. But it also kind of flips the phase, so you don't get any phase problems. So yeah, just got to wrap it around. Not too long, not too tight. Don't sort of medium. Medium works. And then yeah, I mean you'd think it doesn't work, but it absolutely does. My name has been Multiplier, and I will catch you guys on the flippity flip. That's kind of a flip, isn't it? Flippity flip. Flippity flip. Catch you guys on the flippity flip.